Welcome to the Brindley Mountain Fire Apparatus Podcast. I'm your host, Tim White, along with my co-host, Stephen Bearden.
There it is.
And today is going to be a little different than what we've done in the past. We are still interviewing an employee, but we're talking with Joey Craig, who has an exciting project on the horizon, and we just wanted to talk about that and let you guys know what's coming up. So, Joey, tell us about this new project that's going to be launching later this month.
Yeah, a little pre-marketing we're doing here. Sounds fancy. We're Burning Edge podcast. Me and Tim's working on a new podcast for firefighters, by firefighters. We want to bring in firefighters from all over the world. We thought it was just going to be firefighters from around here, and I think episode 3, which we've already recorded, we snagged some British Columbia, Canada firefighters that work in a copper mine.
I was privy to that. I kind of sit in the room for a lot of those, and that was a really fun podcast.
Yeah.
Those guys were really cool.
Yep.
And they were excited for what they did. That was a really fun podcast.
It was,
to sit down
because
on.
I've never even thought about the kind of stuff that they do. Mm-hmm. You know, it's completely outside the realm of what, we do as firefighters and stuff. Mm-hmm. And it was just, it's pretty fascinating to talk with those guys and hear what all they do.
Yeah. And what I'm quickly learning, just even the idea of this show, is that firefighting has so many different aspects and spectrums and just different paths that you can take as a firefighter. Mm-hmm. And that's what I'm finding the most exciting about the show. It's kind of still learning its way and finding its edge, but that's super neat that you can be a firefighter but do so many different things.
Yeah. I see what you did there, finding its edge.
Finding its edge.
There it is.
There.
Thank you.
Good plug.
Thank you. I'm learning.
Well played. Yeah.
But yeah, episode 2, we interviewed an inventor, a firefighter turned inventor that invented a part for a fire truck, and that's his full-time job now. And it's just super neat that you sign up. You think people sign up to be a firefighter, and you can just go fight fire and save babies and all the fun stuff, but there's so many different paths that you can take, and it's really neat. We've already talked to a bunch of different people from all over the nation that's going to have a lot of cool stories that we're trying to get lined up for the show. But
yeah, and that particular guy that we interviewed, the inventor, that was just neat hearing how he came about to do that.
Yeah.
So you guys make sure you listen to that podcast. We'll listen to all of them, but it's just neat that, sitting around the firehouse one day and it's like, hey, we can do it this way.
Yeah, make it a little better.
Yeah. It's just neat to hear the innovation and stuff like that happening.
Yeah, it seemed like he had a lot of provincial things that happened that kind of allowed it to happen. A lot of people have good ideas. I have a ton of good ideas. Toilet caddy,
Yeah, exactly. That's the best.
Most of my ideas come from the toilet, which is weird, but
where we spend, that's where I do all my thinking, typically.
Yeah, but taking an idea from inception and making it actually happen, and now he's turned it into a career, and he's been selling it for years, just honing it and making it better, and having people helping him through the patent process and trial and error and testing and engineering. Like he had a lot of help to get to that point. So it was just neat hearing his story on how it went from an idea that he had and all the different people that got put in his life that made it actually happen to where he can actually help the fire industry now.
Yeah, and we even have a system on our truck on engine 4 that we can utilize, which was pretty cool that he allowed us to do that and use it. And then he talked to us about it.
Yeah.
Trained with him. That was a lot of fun. So what other guests do you have lined up or are trying to get to come on the show and talk with us?
Yeah, one I'm excited about, somebody you introduced us to at the prayer breakfast in FDIC. They're a firefighting group in Africa. We haven't lined it up yet. She was super excited about it. She's on the other side of the world, so we got to learn how to do it remotely. But that one's probably the biggest potential one that, for me, is going to be exciting. Have somebody in that world that we have no idea about.
Yeah, and as I recall, they actually train firefighters in Africa, and she invited, us to, if you guys want to come over and help out with this training, we would love to have you guys come over, which would be super exciting for our team to be able to do something like that. I've never done anything. I've been overseas several times, but never to train other firefighters. So that'd be kind of fun to go to Africa and just see, what resources do they have? Because I've been to Africa a few times and they don't have a hydrant on every corner.
No.
And their streets are not really that wide.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting to see what does firefighting look like in Africa.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That might be a fun trip to take, and I'm kind of looking forward to talking with her as well. As soon as we figure out the remote thing.
Yeah, and it's wild too. Seeing the reach that us in Union Grove, Alabama, have in the industry, in the world, like literally in the world.
Mm-hmm.
It's just wild to me. When I took this job 12 years ago, I'm like, I'm gonna fix fire trucks, but I never thought I'd be talking to people from Africa and Canada and other countries all over the place about firefighting and fire trucks, and it's wild.
It's
cool.
something I've really, you talked about it early in, how you thought this was just going to be local fire departments that really, you could grab a guy
Get
here.
your buddies.
Yeah, let's all just talk firefighting. And even with this podcast, it kind of grows legs a little bit, and you're learning, well, we could talk to this person. We could talk to this person. You're learning from different people in just different groups. And it's just really cool how a podcast can grab somebody from Africa, possibly, or grab somebody from Canada, and you can learn a little bit from each one of those people. And it's really cool.
Yeah, and everybody's got their own story. That's kind of been the hardest part about this project is getting told no, because people are nervous to get in front of a camera and a microphone, and they think that their story isn't valid or nobody cares. But man, everybody's got a story.
Yeah,
everybody's got a story.
Yeah, and it's really not difficult. I mean, once you start, if you can get them past the initial nerve section of it, man, it'll just start flowing, and it's exciting to hear other people's story. I want to know, how did you get in the fire service? What led you down that path? And we've got other folks that we've talked to about coming on, an EMS chief, some folks that ride on a chopper, medevac, coming in to talk with us. That'll be a lot of fun because those guys are seeing the worst of the worst. And just various other people. I know we've got some folks from rural metro that we're going to talk with at some point. It's just mainly just trying to work out schedules, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I'm hoping, speaking of rural metro, I'm hoping, I had dinner with one of the chiefs at rural metro, and he was at 9/11. He was in the Empire State Building on 9/11. And hearing his story, he told it to us over dinner, hearing his story about how that day played out for him. Everybody's got a 9/11 story. But he had some unique experiences on that day that you don't see in the news or even really think about. So I'm really hoping we could get him on to let him tell that story. He lives, I think, in Pensacola, so it'd be, maybe he comes visit us. If he does, I'm gonna snag him up, and hopefully we can get him past his nerves and get him on a mic. But
there you go. Or we could just travel to Pensacola and go to the Naval Air Museum.
Might be something we got to do.
Got all kinds of good ideas.
Would be a sacrifice, but
it would be such and maybe
we
do
would,
a podcast while we're there.
Yeah, exactly.
That'd
be go to the beach.
I'm all in. Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right. We'll book it. Go ahead.
Am I going to get to see you in a Speedo, Tim, if we go to the beach?
Absolutely. I mean, why not?
Well, if not, I'm out.
Sure. Let's get right on that. That's super exciting stuff. Well, if so, I know that this podcast ends up on our social media. So let's just say some of the folks who are out there, when they're listening to this podcast, and they think, hey, I've got somebody that would be perfect to come on that podcast. How can they get a hold of us so that they can suggest somebody or recommend somebody for us to interview?
Too easy. So we've got Facebook set up right now, Burning Edge Podcast. You can go find it on Facebook. Not a whole lot of content on it. The show's still new. We're getting ready to release some teasers and some, just some pictures, stuff like that, just to kind of promote the show a little bit. So you can find us there, message us on it, or you can email us at Burning Edge Podcast or Burning Edge. You set it up yesterday.
I think it's Burning Edge.
Burning Edge at
firetruckmall.com.
firetruckmall.com. Burning Edge at firetruckmall.com. You can, just pop us an email right here. Yeah, I'm going to do what you do to me. Right here.
Yep.
Right here. You can just edit it in.
I will edit it in.
Nice.
Everybody can have access. Just reach out to us if y'all got somebody or you would love to jump on.
Yeah,
let
if
us
you want
know.
on yourself, that'd be.
Yeah.
If you got a story to tell, we'd love to have it.
Even if you don't. Even if you think you don't have a story to tell, you do. So just
Take
send
a
it to
chance.
us.
Take
Take a
a
chance. It really isn't as intimidating as you think it is.
Yeah, it's not
I
bad.
just said words incorrectly. It's fine.
It's fine.
Yes.
Everybody understood what you said.
People are going to think that I did that on purpose. It was on accident.
You probably might get made fun of.
That's okay.
I will be making fun of him later.
Yeah.
Yes, he will.
I won't do it here, but later.
I'll do it
Yeah,
here.
that's fine. No, he's good with it.
Well, okay. Yeah.
Doesn't hurt his feelings none if you make
Not
fun
at
of
all.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'll make fun of you in front of you. You know, I just want you to feel the love.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So, Joey, what brought this about? What did something happen, or what did you have a dream? What made you go, you know what? I think it'd be cool to interview firefighters.
I just didn't have enough stuff to do in my life, and I needed more things to do. And if you know me at all, you know that's fake because I'm just covered up with way too much stuff to do. So I thought it'd be a great idea to have something else. But anyway, we just kind of had the idea of we're in the fire truck industry. We talk about fire trucks all the time, but we meet so many different people all across the world that we know has stories. We had this set up already. We're getting, feel like we're getting good at producing a podcast.
We'll find out.
We're getting there. It was like, we've got all these people coming by. Let's let them tell their story. We're getting good at it. We've got the facilities. Let's sit them down in front of a mic and let's just talk about firefighting. We thought it'd be a good idea for marketing for Brindley Mountain Fire Apparatus to have, some content that firefighters would want to listen to, get our name in front of them. But that was kind of the idea to start with. So we brought in some local guys, did a little pilot episode, let them talk about their story, and it just kind of blossomed from there. But yeah, it's like I said, we just got the platform, so it'd be good to use it, and see where it goes.
All right. And when do you anticipate the first episode rolling out?
So we've set a release date of May 22nd. So
All right.
depending on when you're listening to this, it's 2025. So May 22nd, we're planning to release the first episode. We've got it edited. It's ready to go. We're getting all the final details, getting the Spotify channel set up. We've got the YouTube channel set up, starting with the social media, getting that set up. So May 22nd today. We will release an episode once a month. That may increase in repeat. I don't know.
We anticipate an increase over time.
Yeah.
As we're getting our name out there and as people are wanting to get on the show and some of that, I would say that I would expect an increase over time. Maybe once every 2 months.
That's better.
That's
We're going to increase by
yeah.
decreasing
Yes.
Right, yeah.
is what we're thinking. No, 2 a month possibly as we go along.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So right now we've got 3 episodes recorded, plans for another one very soon. And then as we get guests coming in and we can record more frequently, then we'll increase the frequency of the releases. So,
all right.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Yes.
There you go.
Well, you probably could have.
I didn't.
Okay.
So
Fine.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell us what is the first episode, or you want to let that be a surprise?
Yeah, we could.
So I'm thinking as we're doing this, of course, of
'Cause we're
possibly
so
running
well
some
put together.
shorts of
Okay.
what's coming, just to tease it a little bit for everybody. So if you're listening to this at the end, we'll probably have some of the episodes to come and maybe some little tidbits
Okay.
of the conversations that, and then you can figure out which one's the first one at that point.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So it'll kind of be a surprise.
Yeah.
Kind of.
We'll give you some multiple choice.
Multiple
Yeah.
choice, and yeah,
Yeah.
There are no
from there.
wrong answers. Yes, there are.
except for if it's incorrect. That's the only way it's wrong.
Yeah, I like your logic.
Yeah.
There you go.
Makes sense.
We're gonna try to keep it light, keep it fun. You know, it's we try to cut up with people best we can.
So I do remember one particular episode that we did,
uh,
and it's with a firefighter that we know very well. We actually fight fire with him.
yeah,
He's in our fire department, and that interview really surprised me.
Mhm.
Just knowing his nature, and then it took a serious turn
yeah,
as we got to talking. It's good.
Yeah.
It's such a good podcast episode.
it was an emotional roller coaster.
It was, yeah. So that was I'm looking forward to that one dropping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Is there anything else that you want to tell us about the podcast coming up?
Yeah, that's it. Really, just if you're interested in this sort of thing, you like hearing firefighter stories, you like hearing unique stories and career paths for firefighters, or even in EMS. So we haven't done an EMS yet, but we got, like Tim said, we got plans. Yeah, subscribe to the stuff. We're gonna be on Spotify, Apple.
Pretty much any platform.
YouTube.
If it's if there's a podcast available, some will have video, some will not.
Yep.
YouTube and Spotify, of course, will have video. So if you want to see these beautiful men right here,
Mhm.
then you
Beautiful.
definitely want to watch the
video.
YouTube or the Spotify. That's the place to find it.
If you think we're gross, like most people do,
Yeah, if you just want to hear the voice, the voice is we call him Tim. That is the voice.
Tim is the voice.
He is the voice.
You bring the professionalism.
He does
to the room.
He brings a whole different level of professionalism to the room.
Yes.
So those will be available on any other platform that you would want to consume.
Yep.
So
Well, I do know that Joey, on a call that he was with me on the other day, the lady
we go.
that we
go.
were taking care of thought he was the best looking firefighter ever.
I heard that. I heard that he was. I mean, she was trying to take you out for dinner, wasn't she? Like
She
it
offered to buy
was-
my
She
dinner.
was-
Yeah.
Not bragging.
No big deal or
Not
nothing.
bragging.
Yeah, but she will probably be tuning in to the video if I had to guess.
She may
for
be.
Joey.
And just for the record, I did the majority of the interaction with her. Joey just stood back and looked pretty.
Mm-hmm.
And she never said anything about me. But in my defense, the young lady at Dollar General, when I was talking, was just like, ooh, listen to that voice. You
If
know,
we
and
could
I'm
get-
like, oh, baby. I
If
didn't
we could get Tim's voice in Joey's body, it would be over. It'd be a modern day Fabio.
So
mean,
I have my own things
Yuck.
there, Joey. You just never mind.
yeah.
I may not have the looks. I got the voice. You got the looks.
It took a weird
So when
turn.
that's why we
It
have
did take a weird turn.
that's
didn't
why
it?
we have the combination of Tim and Joey. We got the beauty, we got the voice. It's just how it is.
That's why we make a good team,
But
Joe.
there you go.
That's why I'm not in that podcast too, because I have nowhere to fit.
So, Joey, did you ever picture yourself? When I know Stephen, you've been in this. Well, the three of us
Yeah.
from the start when we started our Brindley podcast, and then you guys are on. You got a personal podcast that you guys do, and then
Our weekend hobby.
now we're doing this Burning Edge podcast. I never would have dreamed I would be, doing any kind of podcast. And I know that you guys have fully embraced it. I remember when we first started this, I'm like, is this thing really going to fly? And then here we are. We got, got our little studio set up.
Probably a year plus into it, aren't we?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
We are.
So
To answer your question, no, I really didn't
Yeah, me
think.
either.
I mean, when it started, it was just, hey, do a Brindley podcast,
Mhm.
Interviewing some people, and I was excited about that. I've always wanted to
Yeah.
do a podcast. I've always been that interested in that, but just watching how it's grown and how it's flourished, and just being able to talk to different people has been really fun.
yeah,
I've really enjoyed it.
I've really liked being able to get to know some of our employees who, for the Brindley side of the podcast, just, things that you didn't know about it. And
Yeah.
Tony coming on, and Tony Craig, and he's like,
Things I never would have known about Tony.
right. He's
I
like
mean-
Conan the Barbarian. When we
Yeah.
got done, we were like, wow, Tony, I didn't
All
realize
these
you.
things I didn't know. I mean, you know these people in a work sense every day. You know you're interacting, but getting to know them a little bit deeper and just in a 30-minute conversation has been really fun.
It has, yeah.
When you can put the technology away and you can just sit down and talk,
Yeah.
which is something we don't do as humans much anymore in
Right.
society. Like it opens up conversations that you really wouldn't have even in person. We work right next to Aaron. Like every day I spend more time with Aaron than I do my own kids. And
I'm
y'all,
sorry.
I know it.
Yeah. Bless your
Set
heart.
up-
God love
set
you.
up.
I'm gonna
out
hold
of
my
the park. There it
feelings, but no, I love Aaron. But yeah, I learned stuff about him on his pod, like a 30-minute show,
Yeah.
and I listened to it the other day when it released, and I was like, "Dang, I didn't know this stuff about him." And like I said, I spend more time with him than I do my own kids most of the time.
Yeah.
It's wild. But
Yeah.
just, to answer your question, I never thought I would do this ever.
Mhm.
Never had an interest in it. Didn't even think I'd do it. I don't like the way I look on camera. My voice sounds weird. Like I didn't think.
Don't tee that up for me. That's
I'm throwing you a Kermie
There-
softball, Timmy.
there
I'm
it
throwing you
is.
a Kermie softball. Hit
You
it.
noticed both of us looked at you immediately as he said it. We're like, all right, there it is.
Oh, I love you, Joey. Go
Just
ahead.
teed it
Here's
up.
your Kermit the Frog pun. You can just throw in there. I'll just let you have it. But yeah, I didn't. I don't know. I guess I'm getting old enough to where I could care less what people think anymore.
Yeah.
And I enjoy doing this, so it seems to. I enjoy doing it, whether people like it or not. That's their own thing, but it's fun. I think we bring something to the table, and
I do too.
it's just like anything else. If you just start, you're going to get better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
If you don't know how to knit a sweater, you've got to start knitting a sweater sometime to get good at
Mhm.
knitting sweaters. And that's kind of the same thing as with
Yeah.
this. Like this podcast, and it was, entry level into it's fairly low. You got a lot of equipment to buy, but you can publish for free.
Yep.
We just had to learn how to do it, and we learned how to publish for free and did it. And it's just from the next step, you just add audio. Add video. We had the audio, so add video, and you just get better as you go. And then you got to learn how to edit, and you just learn how to do that. And then over time, it just turns into a real thing.
And we're still learning.
And we are.
Yeah.
We definitely haven't mastered this art at this point, but I do feel like just in conversation, you've had that before of just, I feel like we're kind of getting some understanding of how to talk to some people and
Yeah,
how to interview some people and just some of those things.
that's a
Yeah.
skill in itself. Just
It
learning
is.
how to do what you're doing now and just asking questions. And you can't just say, you can't tee up yes or no questions
Mhm.
and expect the person to
Give you more than
give
that.
you,
Yeah.
What color is your shirt, Tim? Blue. That would make for a boring show. So you gotta set it up a little.
Yeah.
And, there's a craft to it.
Yeah, I can definitely, just thinking back to the first one we did, you know, and had a piece of notebook paper here, stuff written out. It was very kind of scripted, I guess.
Sure.
And, now it's like, well, I don't have any notebook paper,
No.
but we've kind of learned how to just flow,
Yeah.
just talk. And honestly, when we first started, I expected us to have a whole lot of sound effects, just, punching the board over there right and
Yeah.
left. And we didn't do any of that. And we haven't really done it because we just don't. I think it would
too.
take away from
I
it.
think it would interrupt a little bit.
Yeah,
And
me
I
too.
don't-
It's good without it. So,
I really just enjoy the conversation we get to have more
Yeah.
than anything. And
yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah. But growing up, I was a shy guy. Like, you can probably ask my mom; she would never think I would do something like this. I was always my brother was the extrovert. He was always out partying and doing stuff and making friends and having girlfriends, and I was the guy just ready to get home and play video games and not talk to anybody. So the fact that I'm doing this now is weird, really weird.
Yeah.
For me. But like I said, it's fun.
Yeah, and I've seen growth in both of you guys doing this. This is it's been a lot of fun for me.
it has.
Yeah.
Yep. Really enjoyed it. Everybody stay tuned because we've got the teasers about to hit right after this episode. So
Yep.
everybody stay tuned to it. Watch it. Make your guess. Which one is the first one? Which one is the last one?
Mm-hmm.
Put it down in the comments below.
There you go. And then, just get to it. Like,
Yeah.
check out,
Burning Edge
get on
Podcast.
social media. Go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube so you know what's coming. And, Burning Edge Podcast.
Thanks for being on the show, Joey, and talking to us about Burning Edge. We're looking forward to it.
Welcome to the Burning Edge podcast, the inaugural episode with Jordan Brooks and Mac McLemore. And on mic number 2, we got Tim White,
Yep.
an advanced EMT,
Advanced.
chaplain.
It says it on
You've
the
got the
sleeve.
patch. Got some visitors in from British Columbia, Canada.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Happy to be here.
We got Brent Roberts and Evan Slater coming in with some copper mining fire rescue experience. Jordan's got a very specific set of skills, as the guy from Taken says. That's a very particular set of skills.
I'm not sure on
You know that movie? You're kind of like me, though. We're just firefighter grunts. Like, we don't do a whole lot, but we're just fight fire volunteer.
Yeah, you guys don't really do a whole lot on the scene.
What?
I usually tell people if I have to suit up and go in, it's a bad day, and if I'm doing it, it's to get one of y'all out.
Yep.
But it's really just so I can go in there and lay down and die with you.
Yeah, I didn't even go in the room.
No thanks.
No.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk firefighter stories, things that plague the industry,